For your viewing pleasure, this broadcast of the Municipal Council meeting of Alpena is made possible by the funding provided by the City of Alpena. Thank you for your generosity.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of council member in and for the City of Alpena, County of Alpena, and State of Michigan, according to the best of my ability, so help me God. I'll have you sign the book.
Now repeat that.
Here is exactly what I wrote. Just sign there. Yeah.
You're both lefties. Come on.
Good evening. Welcome to Alpena City Council meeting, January 2nd, 2018. Call the order, please.
Johnson? Here. Nielsen?
Yes.
Nowak?
Here.
Hess?
Here.
Walagora?
Here. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any modifications to the agenda this evening? Approval of the minutes from regular session of December 18th, 2017 and closed session of December 18th, 2017. Issues? Citizens appearing before council on agenda and non-agenda items are allowed 5 minutes each to address your concerns. This is the only time during tonight's meeting you're allowed to address council. If you'd like to do so, please come to the podium and state your name and address for our records.
I do have a couple of announcements. One, I wish to announce that on January 25th at 6 o'clock, the council will be meeting in special session at the Aplex in the second floor conference room. This will be a presentation by staff of a concept regarding a possible RV park at Mishikiwas, which was presented, I think, over a year ago as something staff was going to look into, being that it is included in the master plan as an alternative, and so staff began investigating, looking at a possible layout, what costs, revenues, and to present the council to eventually, not necessarily at that meeting, but to eventually receive direction from council as to whether this is something they wish to pursue further, or to, thank you for your work and that's it, and let's move on to other things. So the meeting itself will start at 6 p.m. However, the doors will open at 5. We will have some drawings out for people that they can see. There'll also be some information sheets, and staff will be around to answer questions, if people have them, but then there'll be the regular council meeting, or the special session will start at 6, which will consist of the presentation and then an opportunity for council to ask questions, and also then the public to be able to make comments or ask questions as well. Again, we're not necessarily looking for a decision that night. That will be strictly up to council what they wish to do. So again, that'll be Thursday the 25th, 6 p.m. It'll be in the second floor large conference, that rounded conference room at the Aplex. The other, at this time, I would like to offer to Karen Hebert, our outgoing Clerk Treasurer Finance Director, who will be retiring on January 12th, is her last day, and Julie Kroniak, who is the outgoing Deputy Clerk Treasurer Finance Director, who will be retiring on January 10th. Karen is with 19 years of service to the city. Julie with 34, am I correct? 37, okay, sorry. I didn't have it in front of me. Let me see. Yes, that's what it says. 37 years with the city. Those years, Karen came in about 5 months after I did, so she's basically been here the entire time I've been with the city, both as planning director and now as city manager. Julie's been here well before, and both have offered an immense amount of knowledge and expertise within that department in helping us as we do budgets, as we work on meetings, whatever, many different facets of the operation of the city. The elections, which they also conduct usually at least every other year, if not every year, that they're hosting or administering those. For me personally, they've been a huge asset. First, when I was for 15 years as a planning director, but certainly these last 5 years as city manager, as I had a rather large learning curve with a lot of aspects of the budget and the general operation of the city. I was in kind of a silo as the planning director, and suddenly I had to know all aspects, and most very helpful. I want to wish them both the best as they go to the next stage of their life and enjoying themselves. You'll be truly missed. I think I can say that on behalf of all the department heads and all the city staff from all the departments, that you've done a very commendable service for the city. I think your award you get every year, you put no pressure on Anna to continue that of getting the Excellence Award in our as the treasurer and the financial award. So again, I just want to personally and on behalf of all the staff, thank you for everything you've done and wish you the very best. And now the mayor has also for you.
Of course I do. I can only echo, I guess, what Greg has said on behalf of the council and give them an opportunity as well, but pretty much the same thing. And so I have a couple of certificates for you if you'd like to come up. Your last picture taken with First for Karen, of course, 19 years of service as a clerk treasurer finance director of the city of Alpena, and we certainly do appreciate your dedication.
Just what to do.
Now you can move it.
Bill just smiles big.
Smile real big.
All right. And Julie as well. 37 years.
So she started when she was 38.
Started.
13.
Started when she was 4.
I was going to say, a year old.
All right, can we get all 3 years, please?
Oh my God.
Glad we had it.
And Julie, you will have to come back about every other month to help with Brownfield, to keep me on the straight and narrow with that. Anybody else?
I guess the last item before we continue with the meeting is, of course, unless you haven't read the news, welcome Councilmember Amber Hess to our council.
Thank you.
Her first meeting. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
All right. Tonight's consent agenda. A, bills to be allowed in the amount of $360,542.24. And B is to add carried by unanimous vote to the motion regarding appointments for boards and committees in the January 16, 2017 minutes.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Johnson?
Yes.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes.
And Walagora.
Aye.
Gotta get used to that name being read out. Used to that sex.
No presentations, announcements, proclamations, and public hearings. So we're down to 11. Report of officers, municipal council compensation committee recommendations. Didn't ask, but I was treasurer will present that.
Except in this.
Yeah, well, I guess just,
Highlight what they are recommending. You want me to do it? Yeah, just this.
Okay.
Yes.
action.
The compensation committee recommended to raise the mayor and council wages $500 annually for each year over the next 2 years. So it's $500, 2018, and $519.
And that will be commencing July 1st. It's for the fiscal year.
So, as in the past, every 2 years, we're aware that the compensation committee. I didn't ask. Karen? January 1st. It's calendar.
Oh, it is? Oh, because they said 18, 19, so I wasn't sure if that was fiscal year. Okay, sorry, you get it right away. Not trying to keep you from getting there.
I think just as a reminder on that too, usually when that committee meets, if I recall correctly, and I'm doing this from memory, is that they look at a bunch of historical data, they look at other councils from cities of similar sizes. They always ask us for all of our meetings that we do and attend, and from what I understand, they always will go through those just to see if they compensated for meetings only, what the difference would be in pay scales and so on. So that's kind of just a summary as I remember it. You know, I'm sorry that we don't have a member of that board here to kind of go over that, but that's how I recall it.
That's pretty much, that's what they do. They discontinued paying us per meeting and gave us a flat salary several years ago. And it's this, so they do their diligence, recommend it to us. Our only action is to either approve it or not. So we don't do any kind of deliberation with that committee. They make their recommendation, and that's it.
The other thing too, just so for public knowledge on that too, the board review that we do in the spring is separate. That's part of the charter, so. So I move we approve the recommendations as presented.
Second.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes.
Walagora?
Aye.
And Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to the committee. I don't think anyone's here with them. Down to new business. First on new business is the Mayor Pro Tem appointment, as Councilman Sexton has left. Basically, the Mayor Pro Tem is tasked with replacing me in my absence for any given reason, either a meeting or functions, or if I'm incapable of performing as the mayor for an extended period of time, for whatever reason. I did canvass, or was given two names from Councilman Nowak and Councilman Johnson. I don't know if anybody else is interested, but they conveyed to me that they are. I feel that both are easily qualified to take the position. I'll put it out there that Mike had asked 6 years ago or 4 years ago if he would be to be appointed, and was passed up for Councilman Sexton because of his seniority. But other than that, I will basically leave it to council to discuss if the two would like to say, or if the two of you that didn't contact me would like to show your interest before we continue.
Do you want a motion, or do you want a
And then,
nomination?
that would be fine, unless there's someone had any other discussion, or you can wait until after, either way.
Yeah, no, I would be interested in the position. You know, I've been vice chair of the Board of Review for the last couple of years. I've really tried to work hard, council, as you're aware, and trying to change the council, or the culture of council, showing up early, making sure that, you know, people know that we're here for them, and that greeting people as they come in. They call me the greeter. In fact, Greg made a joke about it again today, so you're always early. Also, I've held several different public meetings, again, with the prospect of trying to change the culture, to put us out there a little bit more, to understand exactly what the public's looking for. So I would appreciate the nomination, but I agree with the mayor's speculation. I think both of us are very qualified for the position.
I just would like to say I work hard for the city. I too have chaired meetings. I think I'm qualified for the position, and if I get it, I will work hard to fill in for the mayor whenever he's absent. And we are both qualified.
Everybody done? With that being said, I nominate Cindy Johnson.
Second.
And it's a motion. You move to appoint Cindy
Appoint
Johnson.
Cindy Johnson.
Any other discussion? You ready?
Noah?
No.
Hess?
Yes.
Walagora?
Aye.
Johnson?
Yes.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you to you both for being willing to do it, quite honestly, so appreciate that. Next up, council member appointments to boards and committees. We emailed out the best tabulation. I worked with Anna a little bit and added a couple of things to the chart that went on there before. I took that position as joint land use study with Greg earlier this year. I asked her to also put the jail committee on Councilmember Johnson's, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson's list as well, because she is actually representing the council as that appointment, and also here in Humane Society for Ms. Nielsen. So with that said, if everybody looked at it, had an opportunity to look at what they have listed, does everybody feel that everything that they're doing on behalf of the city is on their chart now? Just, yeah, I mean, I just expected to have just a little bit of dialogue for myself. I really have no, I'm fine with what I have, I'm content. Unless somebody would like any of the committees I have, I would just as soon keep what I have, and I'm fine. And I don't want any committees that anyone else has. So.
Just for your information, Amber and I discussed a little bit. One of my committees is Thunder Bay, the Thunder Bay Sanctuary. And I really enjoyed the committee, and I'd like to stay in. I volunteered quite a bit. And Amber is interested as well, so we've decided, if it's all right with you, we'd like to share that committee, both go to the meetings, both do the volunteerism that we're able to do. They'll just get double city.
Well, someone will have to be, because it's a single appointment to that board, someone will have to be the primary member.
Well, you can leave my name there, and then she can volunteer too.
Well, you can volunteer for anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, on the board itself, as far as if there's if they take votes, or it has to be one.
All right.
So then we would change and put Councilwoman Nielsen as the primary for Thunder Bay Sanctuary, and Amber as the alternate?
Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be
I mean,
fine.
she's been involved quite a bit already, and I think that makes sense.
Okay.
And they do like the alternate to come to every meeting as well, so you keep
Oh, that
on what's
makes
going on.
sense.
Things
Mhm.
change quickly at NOAA,
Yeah,
so.
okay. I
it's
just
very nice.
misunderstood you. I thought you meant you were both going to be voting members on the board, but when you're both there, you'll
No,
be
they just like everybody to know what's going on.
Okay.
Works well.
That's fine. Anna, you understood that? So-
Yeah, so Nielsen as primary
Yeah.
and Hess as alternate
Yes.
for Thunder Bay Sanctuary.
If I can just add, I talked to Amber about IG Air and Water. It is one of my committees. It was an active committee until we lost our chair. So for about the last 6 months, it's kind of been defunct, but I've had a lot of people approach me about, getting it going again. So I told Amber if she wants that committee, that I will help her get it up and running again. And because I was the secretary, so I have all the notes and all the information. And I can work with her in the county, and I'm assuming the committee members still stand about pulling that together.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, so you'll take
Good.
IG Air and Water,
perfect.
IG Air and Water Quality.
It's kind of a good committee because you can get the DEQ over here and they tell you about, what properties are contaminated, which ones they're working on, if there's funds for anything, if there's any violations within the factories. It's just, it's an informative committee. Yeah.
And it might be, I guess it might go hand in hand if Amber's gonna keep city property as well, maybe to have both, same person involved. And you're content with everything else that that Sean left, I guess? That would leave you with city property, MACNY,
Medical
medical marijuana.
economic development, visioning, and building strong consensus visioning. And then we're adding the alternate for Thunder Bay Sanctuary. And we've got to write in IG,
Air and water.
IG, air and water. Okay.
It sounds like from the last meeting, that MACNY may not be around much moving forward as its own entity, so that probably will be coming off.
Tim mentioned that, yeah, so I guess we'll just wait and see what happens there. Everybody else is fine? Okay, good. What we'll do is we'll do individual motions for each person and then have that voted. Mine would be, we'll start with me, I guess, in the order of the chart. So mine would be appointed to the Hunt Board, IG Communications, Natural Resources Visioning, Clear Target Marketing Visioning, and JLUS Policy Committee.
So
And an
moved.
alternate, I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
I didn't.
And your alternate for the MACNY and the NEMCOG
MACNY
board.
and NEMCOG Board.
Yep. So moved.
Second.
Hess,
Yes.
Walagora,
Aye.
Johnson,
Yes.
Nielsen,
Yes.
and Noak.
Yes.
And then Johnson is Park Foundation, Retirement Board, IG Roads, IG Recycling, Natural Resources Visioning, Policies and Procedures Visioning, and Jail Committee.
So moved.
Second.
You can't second.
Walagora,
Aye.
Johnson,
Yes.
Nielsen,
Yes.
Noak,
Yes.
and Hess.
Yes.
And Hess would be City Property, IG Air and Water Quality, MACNY, Medical Marijuana, Economic Development Visioning, Building a Strong Consensus Visioning, alternate IG Recycling, and alternate Thunder Bay Sanctuary. Did I miss anything?
So moved.
Second.
Johnson,
Yes.
Nielsen,
Yes.
Noak,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
and Walagora.
Aye. Nielsen would be DARE, Medical Marijuana, NEMCOG, Here and Humane Society, Thunder Bay Sanctuary, Building a Strong Consensus Visioning, Clear Target Market Visioning, alternate for Target, Hunt, and Border Review, Poverty Review.
So moved.
Second.
Nielsen,
Yes.
Noak,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Walagora,
Aye.
and Johnson.
Yes.
Norwalk would be Historic District, Alpena County Central Dispatch, IG Public Safety, Target, Border Review, Poverty Review, Policies and Procedures Visioning, and Retirement Board.
So moved.
Second.
Noak,
Yes.
Hess,
Aye.
Johnson,
Yes.
and Nielsen.
Yes.
That's it for that. And next up, we have a NEMCOG update on the comprehensive plan.
I'll be doing that. Adam is off today. Back in 2008 and again in 2013, NEMCOG assisted the City Planning Commission in developing and updating the Alpena's comprehensive plan. In accordance with the State Planning Enabling Act, the city is required to review and amend, update, or rewrite the plan every 5 years. Seems like that comes about every 3 years, it seems like. The City Planning Commission and staff discussed the 2013 plan and determined that much of it is still valid and a complete rewrite is not necessary. However, it was determined that the updating of certain sections of the plan would need outside assistance due to staff and time constraints. And these include the background chapters on the economic profile, community services, natural cultural resources, and existing land use. Probably minimal changes on those. Probably the biggest on the economic profile. The planning chapters, including goals and objectives, and I'm sure that will be the main one that, in terms of having changes made to it. Future land use and the planning process, and then reformatting the entire thing, because it is on our webpage, it is interactive, which makes it a very workable document. For 2013 update, there was a public participation section aspect to it, utilizing an online survey. As the plan was originally drafted in 2008 and updated in 2013, the Planning Commission and staff felt that in addition to the online survey, a public input session, which is beyond, something beyond just the standard public hearing that's required once it's done, would be desirable to maximize public participation. NEMCOG was the logical choice to update the plan. They have done our last at least 2, maybe 3. We are a member of NEMCOG, therefore the rates we get are very good, and we should be, in the opinion of staff, supportive of NEMCOG since we are a dues-paying member, and therefore should utilize their services whenever we can. And they've done an excellent job in the past on this and other plans that they've worked on for us. The money, it was divided up, the cost, over 2 budget years, both in the CIP and what will be in the budget. There was $7,500 budgeted for this year. We don't know if all of that will be spent, because they'll probably be starting in February, March on the plan. The review and amending of it. So any money left over will be carried over or will be rebudgeted in for the 2018-19, plus an additional amount to cover the total cost of $9,390. You have the contract in front of you. It's there. It's basically the same as the one before. Now, what it doesn't have is a signature page, because when it was originally sent by Denise, it was, here's what our contract is, and what it would look like, and the cost, which is what we asked for. And Adam has contacted her, but with the holidays, she has not gotten back with the signature page. So at this time, though, we would ask still for council approval, and then once we get that, we'll contact you for signature at that time. That would be it, unless you have any questions.
Just, hey, same question I usually ask. Bill, any concerns with the contract at all, or anything that you spotted in there? We've done this one several times.
Yeah, no, nothing in there unusual.
Really not, do it?
No, not when you're told like
We
that.
could obviously find someone else, but that's great.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get as good a cost, and they're so familiar with the community and with the plan, it just makes it go that much more smoothly.
I move we approve the contract with NEMCOG and have the clerk and mayor sign it on the city's behalf.
Second.
Probably should include the
Not
that
to
it cost
exceed.
at 90,
The
was it
cost of
93?
$9,390.
I'll second that. Second.
Didn't I say that?
Hess,
Yes.
Walagora, Johnson,
Yes.
Nielsen,
Yes.
and Noak.
Yes. Okay, I move we adjourn to closed session to discuss water and sewer litigation.
Second.
Walagora. Johnson.
Yes.
Nielsen,
Yes.
Noak,
Yes.
and Hess.
Yeah.